And I know when people hear the word woke, it triggers them. And I understand that because it started out as a great thing. Alert to injustice. We're all for that. But words migrate. I can't control that. And now, like so many things, it's been taken over by stupid white people. And there's not one right there. Not a stupid white person. There's one of the good ones. And it's just about catching people. You know, a couple of years ago, they went after Doctor Seuss. Yes, that Doctor Seuss, author of Green Eggs and Ham and other controversial works. Why? Because when he was drawing in the 1930s, he drew Chinese people with pigtails. Possibly because in the 1930s, Chinese people wore pigtails. So I would say if you're going to be a cartoonist, little advice, if you're going to draw anybody ethnic, I would be very careful. Like if you're drawing a Jewish person, I would make that nose very small. Very small. Like Michael Jackson after the third operation, small. Just a Jew dot right in the middle of the face. But, you know, why are pigtails racist to begin with? They're not. Is the point. These people just like to bitch. They just like to find something to bitch about. Bitches and snitches. That's what this country is. You know, I said a little while ago about little people. Remember? Okay, so little people, that's what you're supposed to say now. Midget, bad word. To me, this makes so much more sense if it had happened in reverse. If we had been saying little people, then they would have been, oh, for God's sake, Bill, use a proper term like midget. Jesus Christ. You don't call them little people. They're not toys. What's wrong with you? Midget. And then somebody would have come along. No, they're the we. We call them the we now. No, there are people experiencing weeness is the... I mean, I think people think that wokeism is somehow an extension of liberalism, but more often it's the opposite. Let me give you 10 million examples. Homeless. You're not supposed to say that word anymore. It's people experiencing homelessness. I don't think that goes far enough. I think we should call them wonderful, well-meaning people who, through no fault of their own, are taking a dump on my driveway. That, I believe, is the term we should be using. But, you know, I have a little insight into this. I used to participate in the show for my beloved, wonderful HBO called Comic Relief. Remember Comic Relief with Whoopi and Billy and Robin? Okay. All right, well, we're good liberals. We thought we were doing... The compassionate view was get the homeless off the street. That's not the woke view. Their view of the homeless is they're an endangered species that needs to be protected in their natural habitat. Living their best life under a bridge. Liberalism is about fixing things. Woke is about, you know, a lot of it is just renaming colleges. Every year, many colleges put out lists of words and phrases we are not supposed to say. Really, you know, just too easy. Too easy, you know, it's because people want to believe so badly that you don't really have to make a big effort. I mean, what do you have to be to just start a religion, to be a prophet? Just some guy, and I do mean guy because it is kind of a sausage party, the prophet business. But just some guy who was out in the middle of nowhere, you know, in the mountains or up on a hill or in a desert and come running into town. Hey, everybody, you'll never guess who talked to me when there was nobody around, darn the law. God, yeah, can you believe it? God. And he said he's starting a new religion and he wants me, a complete loser with nothing going on in my life, to be his infallible wingman here on Earth. Isn't that awesome? So I took a few notes. Okay, number one, just do whatever I say. That's like super key. And, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to be fucking a lot of the women in the compound. That's just directly from him. I would not have it that way. But, you know, religion, it's not exactly selling consistency. It's not even really selling morality. What is it selling? Peace of mind. That's what it's selling. I know this because I know many religious people. And they all say the same thing, which is, when I put my head on the pillow at night, I know if I die in my sleep, I will go to a better place. To which I always say, then why don't you hang yourself tomorrow? No, I'm trying to help. You set a better place. I have some rope in my car. We could do this tonight. But when people ask the question, what happens when I die? They don't want to hear, something, nothing. No, they want to hear, They want to hear, we have a post-life package that I think you're going to find very exciting because that is what they are selling. I mean, that's actually what they're competing with each other for. They have to come up with a great heaven version of heaven. Like, I was raised Catholic. I was told one man dies for all of your sins, which is really picking up the check for the whole day. That is a gentleman. Mormons believe that if you have a good marriage here on Earth, in the afterlife, you and your wife get to rule over your own planet. That is a nice perk, is it not? Let me see that brochure. I'm going to look at this very carefully. I love the Muslims. They go right to, you get pussy. What do you think about that? Pussy, pussy, pussy everywhere. That brochure. Although, I suppose if I ruled over my own planet, I get all the pussy I want. Oh, wait, the old ball and chain will be with me. To be done. I mean, pick up a newspaper. It's just a journal of work to be done. It's not mostly good news. I was reading something the other day. This is very random, but okay. Like North Carolina last year, changed the law of when you could eligibly marry. It was 14. And now it's 16, which I'm not kidding. They raised it from 14 to 16, which is still too young. 16, a lot of these kids haven't even started transitioning yet. What? Can't we give them time to be kids and do the things kids have always done, like get read to by drag queens? Just normal. No, and we love drag queens, yes, okay, good. Now we know we're the good people. We're good people. We like drag queens. We're good people. Okay, but can we never get real? Because I have this whole thing, I feel like, is much more for the adults than it is for the kids. And I think that the kids are really hurt by it. But do we really need to be loud and proud with 5-year-olds? I think there's plenty of time for them to learn about drag queens and dildos and why daddy has 2 phones. I mean, is it really so hard in this country just to not be exotic? Really? Where are my unexciting people? How about a hand for the run-of-the-mill? What about it for the unremarkable of us in the world? It's complicated, more complicated than people give credit. Like there are country music stars now with face tattoos. The governor of Kansas is a woman and California has never had a woman governor. Okay, it's a little complicated. We have a new vice president, JD Vance, who wrote a book about being a hillbilly called Hillbilly Elegy. And in it, he says when he was 8 years old, he lived with his grandma, who was born in 1933 in Kentucky and had 19 shotguns. Okay. And he says to her, I think I'm gay, which I completely related to, because when I was 8 years old, well, they hadn't invented homosexuality, but I knew what it was like to only like boys, because girls have cooties when you're 8. So he goes to his grandmother and he says, Grandma, am I gay? And she says, this is word for word in the book, she says, JD, do you want to suck dicks? And he says, no, I don't. And she says, well, then you're not gay, but even if you did want to suck dicks, God would still love you. Okay, well, you know what? If J.D. Vance's cocksucker-loving grandma can be that open-minded, maybe there's hope that we're better than we think. Do reassignment and make it sound like so simple and easy. Cut one off, snap one on. I mean, No, it's not. It's a major medical intervention that's going to affect your health for the rest of your life. We just gloss over this. You know that when they give you a penis you were not born with, I'm not mocking this or making fun of, but they cut the flesh out of your thigh. And forevermore, you have a dick-shaped scar. Again, I'm not mocking it. Maybe it's a selling point some places, but... I mean, with so many people doing this, isn't there some better way, some sort of exchange? Have a penis, give a penis. Need a penis, take a penis. I mean, there have to be solutions, people. But again, you know, liberals understand and appreciate and love the fact that there are variations in human sexuality. It's great we live in a time when trans people can be respected and protected as they should be, but some of this is also just trendy. Some of this is a TikTok challenge that got out of hand. And we are the only country who does it the way we do now. All the other liberal countries in the world, they pulled back because they went with common sense and said, you know what? Kids are, go through phases. Childhood is all phases. The Hello Kitty phase, the dinosaur phase. 1 minute you can't get them out of the room. Next minute they want to be an astronaut. If kids knew what they wanted to be at 5, the world would be full of cowboys and princesses. I wanted to be a pirate. Thank God they didn't take me seriously and schedule me for eye removal and peg leg surgery. All right, one more thing.
Thank you so much. I love you back. Thank you, Chicago. Always one of my favorite cities. I'm so glad I'm doing this here finally.
Wow, thank you so much. That makes me feel so great. Always love this town. Hope you're in a good mood. We're going to have fun tonight. Good. Just hope you're not brooding about the election, because if you are, you're in the wrong building here, okay? I'm not doing that shit. And again, you know what? Could it be bad? Yes. Trump could blow up the world on the first day. Absolutely. He could also sit there and eat cheeseburgers for 4 years and call into Fox and Friends every morning. I don't know. He's too unpredictable. So he got the White House again, but he's not going to get my mind. Okay? Think about this, and then I'll go back to making fun of Republicans. But it's interesting. When I was traveling this year, because it's an election year, in many states, red states, blue states, I saw all the ads the congressional people have up there, and it's interesting. The Democrat ads, not one of them ever uses the word liberal, because it got so mixed up with woke bullshit that they're embarrassed by it. But the Republicans cannot say the word conservative enough. It's a conservative. Brad Goonsberg is a conservative for conservative Pennsylvania. Brad Goonsberg will kill criminals and bomb Mexico and tear the dress off your son. Brad Goonsberg, conservative, will legalize horse fighting and turn electric cars into electric